Historians, greetings. John Harold Johnson, 1918 to 2005, is described as a consummate bootstraps entrepreneur who recognized the expanding African American middle class as a consumer market, as well as the need to challenge the pervasive negative depictions of African Americans in the mainstream society. Johnson was born in a poverty stricken situation in Arkansas, and things got much worse when his father died in 1926. His mother, Gertrude, was a staunch supporter of education. Johnson finished high school and attended college. And with his college diploma in hand, Johnson became that entrepreneur by following the blueprint established by many of his African American predecessors. First, Johnson was presented with a unique and grand opportunity. Johnson had secured employment with the Superior Life Insurance Company as a University of Chicago undergrad student. His duties entailed collecting weekly press clippings to keep his boss, Harry H. Pace, up to date with news in the African American press. Secondly, Johnson seized the opportunity when he developed a vision for innovation. The position of superior gave birth to the notion of establishing his first publication, Negro Digest. It was a risky venture to launch such a magazine in the early 1940s. Johnson said that when he finally decided to try, no one else thought it was a good idea. Johnson also faced a lack of capital. Also, there had never been a successful African American commercial magazine before. The dream was launched with a $500 collateral loan against his mother's furniture, and he raised $6,000 through charter subscriptions. EBONY and JET highlighted political, social, economic, and moral foundations of America from the African American perspective. In addition to providing information, a goal was to transform America during the difficult period following the Second World War. This is a copy of EBONY magazine. And this is a copy of the JET magazine. Thirdly, Johnson benefited from a wise and established mentor. Negro Digest was a dream. With the concept, Johnson approached his superior, Mr. Pace, but Mr. Pace refused to sit on the proposed editorial board. But Mr. Pace did offer some sound advice. First, Mr. Pace said, a good magazine does not need anyone's name or reputation attached to it. A good magazine will sell itself. Secondly, Pace warned Johnson that not to take on partners because partners lead to arguments and it takes away the ability to make one's own decisions. And Johnson followed that advice for the next 60 years. But there were investors in Johnson Publishing Company. Historically, Johnson is widely regarded as the most influential African American publisher in American history, having created the monthly magazines EBONY in 1945 which was a successor to Negro Digest and Black World, and then JET came along in 1951. The success of his entrepreneurship was not the final figure in the ledger books from his business and publishing acumen through the Johnson Publishing Company that was established in 1951, but it was his give back to the African American community, including financial support for activism in the emerging civil rights movement, up and coming entrepreneurs, political candidates, and education. And although many people are unfamiliar with Johnson, Ebony, and Jet and his give back efforts, June O. Patton of Governor State University says he was a legend in his own time, and his legacy is complex, multifaceted, and may take generations to document and interpret. In the digital age, we must ponder the future of the print industry and the relevancy of publishers, including Ebony and Jet, for the next 70 years. Recently, the magazines were sold to Manna Inc. in Louisville, Kentucky. My sources are ebony.com, Louisville Business First, article by June O. Patton, the Journal of African American History, and an article by Derek E. White, the Journal of African American History. Thank you for watching my video.